So, the moment you guys, a lot of you all been waiting for, bass stick man, the man, the myth, the legend. Let's give it up for Kyle Chapman.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? How we doing today? Thank you all for coming out here. It is a hot day, and I know a lot of you have sacrificed to come out here, so thank you all for coming out here. Where are my Proud Boys at? I said, where are my Proud Boys at? Guys, if you don't know who the Proud Boys are a fraternal organization of Western chauvinists. These men are here not only to support you, but if Antifa or violent leftists show their face and attempt to harm one of us, these men are willing to put their asses on the line to protect you. Everybody, I want you to give it up for the Proud Boys. Listen, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about sacrifice. I became known as Bass Stickman, the Alt Knight, due to my actions at the Battle of Berkeley. There were several battles of Berkeley. I showed up to the first Battle of Berkeley. I didn't really know anybody there. I pretty much showed up on my own. I had done a significant amount of research on Antifa. I live just across the bay in San Francisco from Berkeley, so I'm very much aware of the liberal Marxist hellhole that Berkeley has become over the decades, and that it is a Antifa stronghold. When I saw that there was going to be a pro-Trump, pro-free speech rally there, I knew there was a 100% chance of violence on behalf of Antifa. So I geared myself up, got myself ready for battle, and I went there to protect my right-wing brothers and sisters. I had just gotten my 7th knee surgery 2 months before the Battle of Berkeley. I was due to be on crutches for 4 months. I still had close to 2 months of crutches left. I was on crutches the day before the Battle of Berkeley. I took myself off of crutches, threw about 3 knee braces on my bad knee, and made a shield, because I saw Antifa made shields and I wanted to even the score. I put a very small flag on the end of a very big stick, so my flagpole, and I went there, to protect my right-wing brothers and sisters. And I knew the sacrifice. I knew going into this that I was going to face some serious problems. If it came to fisticuffs. A lot of you know I have a bit of a checkered past. I have not lived a perfect life, and when somebody like me gets in trouble, we face much harsher consequences than somebody who has never been in trouble. Since the first Battle of Berkeley, I've been arrested 3 different times. I had to post $120,000 or $112,000 bail. I've been charged with 5 felonies, 3 misdemeanors, all in the in defending myself and defending my right-wing brothers and sisters. I was told after the first Battle of Berkeley by my attorney that I should not go to a second Berkeley rally. All my loved ones said, you should not go. You are on bail, you are facing 5 serious felony charges, and you should just let it go. Nah. It wasn't gonna happen. It wasn't gonna happen. I was gonna show up for the second Battle of Berkeley. And what happened at the second Battle of Berkeley, people? We won. We won big time, or as Trump would say, big league. And we destroyed those leftist demons. We handed them their asses and sent them running down the streets of their own turf, cowering for shelter. You guys, we won that day. We won big. So back to sacrifice. So since then, I detached my bicep at the Battle of Berkeley, knocking out an Antifa punk. I've broken my hand and then re-broke it again at the Battle of Berkeley and in a successive fight with more violent leftists. My vehicles have been vandalized. My home has been vandalized. My front window has been bricked while my family was in the living room watching TV. I don't talk about this or post about it on social media because I don't want to give Antifa the satisfaction. My employment has been limited. I've been viciously slandered by the media. Evidently, I am a white supremacist with a half Asian son. How about that? So the fake stream media has viciously slandered me, as well as other people, even in the movement, have slandered me as well. Because I am not afraid to speak out about the atrocities that whites and people of European descent face, not only here in this country, but in Western nations across the world. The war against whites and Europeans in Western society is very real, and it's time we all started talking about it and stopped worrying about political correctness and optics. That is what has gotten us in this situation and caused this problem in the first place. So we had 3 battles. Well, we had 3 events at Berkeley. The first and second events were quite violent. We handed them our ass in the second event. And we had a third event that was a raving success. The Proud Boys showed up deep. They were all nights there, guys. Gavin McGinnis flew across from New York. We flew everybody in. We organized that third rally at Berkeley in less than 24 hours. We did not have one instance of violence. The cops stepped up. They did their job. They arrested several Antifa members, and we had a peaceful rally. One of the first peaceful rallies held in Berkeley, California, that conservative rallies that anyone can remember. So we succeeded, guys. We succeeded big time there. These rallies have lit a fire in the hearts of Western man across this nation and across the world. I have people contacting me from Venezuela. I don't know if you guys have seen the based Venezuelans with their shields and their helmets. They were inspired by my actions. I am in contact with those guys. There are people standing up against Islam and lions and courageous men like Tommy Robinson in the UK. Let's hear it for Tommy, the Lion Robinson. It doesn't get any more courageous than Tommy Robinson, guys. He is standing up against the Islamization of Europe and UK, and that man will be leading an army in short time. And I pray to God our British brothers and sisters, and in my ancestral homeland, that they get up off their knees and they fight and they retake their country. They retake their homeland. So my reason for telling you this, it's not to gain your sympathy, and it's not even to gain your support. My reason for telling you this is to impress upon you the necessity of sacrifice. And if you want to be part of this movement, if you want to make a difference, you're going to have to sacrifice. You will be attacked. You will be doxxed. Your picture will be plastered all over your cities, potentially on the news. You will be portrayed as a white supremacist, a radical. I mean, we have Asian white supremacists in our group. We've got we got a brown Jewish white supremacist right here. I mean, it's ridiculous, folks. But this is what you're going to have to deal with. You are also going to have to come to the realization that you may have to bleed to keep this going. You're going to have to bleed. You're going to have to you're going to maybe have to do some time in jail. And you very may well have to die. Some of you might think that sounds a bit extreme. Dying for liberty? I'm willing to die. Are you guys willing to die? Yeah? Are you willing to bleed? That's what I'm talking about. Listen, guys, we did not secure our freedoms in this country with half measures. Our ancestors, our founding fathers, kiss their wives and their children goodbye, and they went out and died for our freedom. They knew they weren't coming back. They went out and died. Death, us dying and bleeding for our freedoms, is no revolutionary idea. It is the only way we are going to maintain our freedom and our sovereignty in this country, is to bleed and die for this shit. We have to understand this war is being fought on many different fronts. It's being waged against us and has been waged against us for a long time now. The cultural war has been waged against us since the 60s. It's called cultural Marxism. Anybody familiar with that? What are some aspects of cultural Marxism? Can anybody name a few by chance? Oh, white guilt. That's a good one. Yeah. It looks like basically half the white population of the Western world is infected with the cancer of white guilt. It is pathetic. It's so sad. We got victimhood, putting people into victim classes. We've got affirmative action. Is another form of cultural Marxism. Political correctness, basically saying everybody else can say whatever the hell they want to say, but if your color is the color of my skin, I can't say it. I have to shut up. That's political correctness. I have to shut up and check my privilege. That's political correctness. We have to fight back against this. We have to destroy political correctness, cultural Marxism, and free ourselves from these chains that bind us, that keep us from having open and rational debate. We must free ourselves of cultural Marxism, ladies and gentlemen. The other war is a spiritual war. This war has been waged since the dawn of man, and it is a war between good and evil. This war will never be won. It is a series of battles. This war is perpetual. It will be ongoing long after man ceases to exist. It is a spiritual war, guys, and we have to understand that there is no winning it. It is a constant battle. The idea is for us to get the upper hand. For the idea is to get evil in our country back in its place, and we want good. We want the Christian ideals of our forefathers, that our Judeo-Christian society, to once again take hold in this great nation of ours. And that needs to be the prevalent dominant culture, not the culture we have now. The culture we have now that has been foisted upon us by the cultural Marxist is one of evil. It is a Luciferian cult that has taken over our country and taken over our civilizations, and they seek to destroy us. So that brings me to God. What is the importance of God in a country? Everything, guys. Our founding fathers mentioned it multiple times in the founding documents. We need to maintain our relationship with God. You see what's happened to Western Europe, where they are largely secular, where the churches have been all turned into mosque. The indigenous people, the indigenous native Europeans have turned their backs on God, and now they are paying the price. Their civilization is being systematically destroyed right before their eyes. Their leaders are openly cultural Marxists and Luciferian lunatics. I mean, and they have allowed these people to lead them down the path of destruction. But let's take a look at Western Europe, or Eastern Europe, Poland. All right, Russia. How about those Polish guys? Let's hear it for the Polish. God bless the Polish people. They have not, you know, and what's funny is Western Europeans used to always talk down about Europeans. They're like, they're so brutal, they're so savage, they're so backwards. Yeah, well, who's laughing now? They held on to their warrior roots. They held on to their Christian roots. And as a result, there's no terrorist attacks in Poland. Russia still has its culture intact. They have a large Muslim majority. A majority in or a minority in Russia. It's close to 20%. But do you see them running around acting like a fool? No, they don't. Because if they pull that shit in Russia, the Russian people will rise up against them. You know, it's not just the government. The people will. Ukraine is the same way. I was talking to a Ukrainian guy the other day, and about a year ago, a bunch of Muslims beat a Ukrainian man to death. The Ukrainian people got together. They all picked up AR-15s, and about 70 of them went into the Muslim neighborhood and shot it the hell up. Now, I'm not saying that's what we need to do, but I'm telling you the spirit and the heart of these people is something to be commended, and the willingness to fight and die in defense of their civilization is a beautiful thing, and we need to embrace that sort of spirit here in America. So what this comes down to is the cultural war that we have going on with massive immigration, massive Muslim integration, and multiculturalism. Guys, multiculturalism doesn't work. Assimilation works. Unity works. Multiculturalism does not. Multiculturalism is neo-Marxism. It works out when you come to a country and you embrace its values. You assimilate. So we have to push back against this. And we have a massive problem with immigration in this country. There's a problem with it all throughout Western Europe. I personally think all immigration needs to be stopped. I do not think we need any more immigration at all. I think there needs to be a moratorium. And I'm tired of playing the optics game. I'm tired of people saying, well, hey, man, don't say that, dude. They're going to call you a racist. I don't care, man. It needs to be stopped. We got to take care of our people here, our American brothers and sisters, whether you're white, black, brown, or yellow. We need to take care of our people first, guys. We cannot handle any more unskilled labor. We can't handle any more immigration. This country is getting crowded. We need to cut it off. You understand? Do you understand what's going to happen when the robotics, the automation, the artificial intelligence, when all that kicks in, what do you think is going to happen to the workforce? We're looking at a 30+% decimation of the workforce within the next 30 to 40 years. Where are these people going to work? What jobs are they going to have? What about our own American brothers and sisters that are put out of work by technology? What are we going to do? Well, what's going to happen is a lot of these people are going to go on the dole. All right? That's inevitable. A lot of people are going to go on welfare. And how do those type of people usually vote? Democrat. The majority of the immigrants that come into this country, how are they voting? Where do you think that leaves us in 30 years, guys? We're fucked. We're in trouble. I mean, we can try to win hearts and minds, but we cannot keep up with this pace of immigration that's happening. So we need to address that. And I'll conclude this with saying this. We need to destroy cultural Marxism. We need to destroy political correctness. We need to speak truth to power, regardless of what other people are going to say or talk about us or call us all the names like racist, Islamophobe, all this stuff. We need to base our arguments and our platforms on facts, logic, and reason, and be damned with the consequences, guys. And the one thing that sums it all up, the one reason all of us are here today is to fight for freedom, guys. All right? What do we stand for? Freedom! What do we stand for? Freedom! That's what I'm talking about, guys. Love all of you. Thanks for coming out. Basestickmen.com, guys. You can go ahead and donate there. You can buy some gear. I've given up a job as a commercial diver. I made six figures a year as a deep sea diver to take on this activism full time. I do most of this on my own dime. I don't charge speaking fees. So if you'd like, you can support me at basestickmen.com. You can donate or you can buy some swag. Thank you all. Love you guys. I said, where are my Proud Boys at? Guys, if you don't know who the Proud Boys are a fraternal organization of Western chauvinists. These men are here not only to support you, but if Antifa or violent leftists show their face and attempt to harm one of us, these men are willing to put their asses on the line to protect you. Everybody, I want you to give it up for the Proud Boys. Listen, I want to talk to you.
So, the moment you guys, a lot of you all been waiting for, Bass Stick Man, the man, the myth, the legend. Let's give it up for Kyle Chapman.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? How we doing today? Thank you all for coming out here. It is a hot day. And I know a lot of you have sacrificed to come out here, so thank you all for coming out here. Where are my Proud Boys at? Guys, a little bit about sacrifice. I became known as Bass Stickman, the Alt Knight, due to my actions at the Battle of Berkeley. There were several battles of Berkeley. I showed up to the first Battle of Berkeley. I didn't really know anybody there. I pretty much showed up on my own. I had done a significant amount of research on Antifa. I live just across the bay in San Francisco from Berkeley, so I'm very much aware